should happen. And yes, of course, like I mentioned earlier on, it's a big conversation if Mikel Arteta should trust the young star Myles Skelly in that midfield position, or perhaps go for Martins Zubimendi. Thierry Henry has spoken. He's not the only one speaking. Jamie Carragher has spoken as well. Both of them have shared their opinions as to what they think should be done. Well, at the end of the day, the decision rests with Mikel Arteta, but they've only gone on to share what they think should happen in that midfield of Arsenal. Just before we run through that one, all the news in 90 seconds. Aside the UEFA Champions League clash tonight. Well, if Arsenal beat West Ham at the London Stadium on Sunday, they would win the Premier League title. Jamie Carragher, the assessment came after their title rivals Manchester City secured a late 3-3 draw against Everton on Monday night. And away from that one as well, outside the arena, activist lawyer Madra Buchi Idem has said there is nothing to celebrate about the reversal of the curfew on a Masari community by a Boeing State Governor Francis Wifuru. Idem said the lifting of the curfew would not cause the legal action he has already instituted against the state government. In a statement he signed, Madwa Buchi said the legal action will continue until the state government pays compensation for the extrajudicial killings carried out by the joint security operation, as well as for the harm, pain, and the psychological distress inflicted on innocent members of the community. Meanwhile, popular Nigerian content creator Shank has stirred reactions online after opening up about a personal clash with his mother over tattoos, while also revealing a fresh body ink linked to his lit gang identity. The revelations surfaced in a recent viral video shared on social platforms where he recounted the moment he tattooed his mother's name on his arm. The day I tattooed my mom's name on my arm, she started crying and quoting the Bible. Wow. I would love to know, is like a Gen Z mom?
Gen Z mom, so you know like that?
Yeah, like, because I can't even imagine.
That's like an average African mom, actually.
Okay, with that.
Either old. Okay, maybe Gen Z. I think
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe Gen Zs would actually be inclined to even allowing it.
That's what I'm saying. They would be inclined to, like, do you want to tattoo someone and your mom was crying? You're a parent.
Crying as in it's a travesty or tears of joy.
So I don't even know right now.
If not tears of joy, it's not Gen Z.
Okay, she started crying and quoting the Bible.
His mom is an African mom.
So the mom is an African mom. It's a proper African mom. Okay, so the quoting the Bible is like, oh my God.
Thou shalt not.
My child has gone astray. Like, oh my God, the prodigal son. So I get this part because I think it's only Gen Z's mom that will just be like, okay, the mothers of today. What's African mothers, Adam? Some things you can't even do.
Why you say go like? Why you say go?
There are some things you can't even do and comfortably show them that you've done it. Although you know that eventually they won't be able to do anything, right? Because you're an adult and so on and so forth. But you know they would not consent to what you've done. But they know they can't eventually send you out of the house or do anything, but they won't consent to it.
Can I share a personal?
Yeah, you can. I have so many personal experiences. Let me just hold them back.
Personal experience. The first time I dyed my hair.
First time I wore wig. It was like I came back from school. You know, the university was literally drugged out. I was like, what's going on right now? I'm telling you. First time I fixed nails. So easy. African moms, shout out to them. You know, easy. I'm telling you.
What I did was, first time I dyed my hair, I didn't tell anybody. It was literally like 2 days after I had gone back to school. It was a new session, and I was like maybe like within the first week after I returned back to school, and I did it. I took pictures that day. I'm pretty sure I blocked my mom and like a majority of all my family members because I was like, ain't nobody saying that. The mistake I made was I didn't block my dad.
Oh!
So my dad saw it. And then he called me.
So the first time I painted my nails, I was in SS3. They came for visiting day. And then my parents saw it. Oh my God, I was disgraced. And I kept saying, it's just my nails. Like, I just, like, you know, the whole SS3. I was disgraced. I was like,
my dad
what's going on?
My dad called me, was like, he called me that night, we had spoken, and I was like, okay, don't worry, I'll take it down tomorrow. That was all I said to him. Daddy, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I didn't take it down the next day. I carried it for 2 weeks.
I mean,
I carried it for 2 weeks.
So it's hard.
My uncle called me the next day. He was like, Alpha, that is okay. Your dad said you did this, you did that. I was like, yeah. He was like, Adam, I will send you some money. Make sure you get to Ashadu Prime. What I did, again, if my dad is listening to this, I am sorry. What I did was I took an old picture where I was still on black hair.
Really?
And I sent it to them.
Really? So, but you get the point.
For
you
2
get
weeks.
It's hard to see.
I rocked my blonde hair in school.
A proper, I don't know if the word proper is right, but mothers of those days comfortably see you put on a tattoo, earrings, pierce your ears, and then you just come and then say, "Oh, great, my son."
Now
Most of them will take it out.
Maybe I should dye my hair again.
Now you sabi, you're an adult. Do whatever it is you want
The
to do.
second time I did it, I didn't even tell anybody. My mom just saw it. My mom just saw it on the random post on social media, and she didn't say anything about it. She don't see him. She not talk.
They don't wash hand, come off your matter. That's what it means. Don't wash hand, come off your matter. Do whatever it is you want to do. I've tried my best to train you up. Do whatever it is you want to do. But let's turn our attention to Champions League. Let's get the show started. Adam, Myles to Skelly is the number one. Of course, ultimately we're going to ask you who you think is going to win tonight's game. But I think for me, this one, because it's controversial, people are for and some are also against. Now, Thierry Henry says it would not be bad to actually see him start, although he did concede to the facts that he knows that ultimately the decision, lies with Mikel Arteta. But he says, I thought like everybody, like Declan Rice, was outstanding, but Myles Skelly was just different. Not only was he good on the ball, he was good on reading the play, stopping, going to get it. He played really well. It's one thing to be patient, it's one thing to be upset about the situation, but he was ready. He did not look like he hadn't played for a long time. He controlled the game, he went forward, he bossed the game at all time, and that is outstanding. And of course, in the words of Thierry Henry, he says because of the magnitude of the game, talking about the game tonight, I don't know if it's going to, because of the magnitude of the game, I don't know if it's going to go a bit more secure, talking about Mikel Arteta, but this guy showed that it might be a new position for him in terms of next season. He did extremely well. I wouldn't mind if he starts him, but then I understand because of the magnitude of the game and how Zubimendi plays sometimes a little bit more secure. Don't underestimate experience in this kinds of game, but would I like to see him start tonight? In the words of Thierry Henry, he says yes, why not? But Mikel Arteta is the coach. Adam Babat Suleiman, before I run through Jimmy Carragher's words, your thoughts on the whole Myles Skelly starting tonight?
I feel like
would that be so bad?
I know people are going to call in, and I'm going to just allow the listeners do this on my behalf.
By the way, you can join us live. Matter of fact, you can drop your comments, and I'll see if I can get through social media and take your opinions. It's a simple one. Why you or responding to if you think Arsenal will progress tonight, or Atletico Madrid will progress. Ultimately, I think for me the big question tonight is if Myles Skelly should start tonight's game ahead of Martin Zubimendi. Looking at his performance in that game against Fulham, should he be the one that starts tonight? On Facebook, Sports Red Bull FM, on X Bull FM, on X Bull FM 889, on Instagram Bull FM 889. Those are the platforms you can reach us on. Adam, let's hear from you.
How markets over the weekend?
TikTok Bull FM 889. Everywhere.
Okay. How markets over the weekend? I don't know if it was on Saturday. I talked about it on Sunday, but I had seen the kid. I believe it was on Saturday. They played on Saturday. I think it was Saturday night, where I talked about it, and I was like, I saw this kid play, and I was like, again, I thought it was amazing. Everybody, there was a whole highlight section in the post match, and everybody was like, this kid played very well, and everybody was surprised.
No one has seen him in that position.
Everybody was surprised,
like
except me.
A big gamble. Oh, you were not?
Because again, when this kid came out of the academy, when he came out of the under-21s, he was brought in as a midfielder. He had maybe 1 or 2 games, and then Mikel, put him to the left back position, left back where he looked like he had thrived and everything. Then last summer came in, you buy Nkapie joins in with Calafiori, and you just throw away Myles Skelly. So the one time when I saw Myles Skelly come into the midfield, I was like, this is what we know. So everybody, with all due respect, when everybody was like, oh yeah, he did very well, I'm like, I'm not surprised. I knew the kid could do it. His ball movement, again, I pointed out a couple of moments against Real Madrid. If you can keep your nerves as calm as that kid did against Real Madrid last season, against a team like Real Madrid in the Champions League in the quarterfinals, your very first ever, at 18, the way he kept a calm head over 2 legs, although he was lined up as a left back in that fixture home and away. But the one thing he did was the way he kept on drifting into the midfield. From the midfield, carry the ball. Every time he did it, carry the ball, attack, create chances. You could tell he felt at home whenever he was in that center area. So it was like that midfield instinct was there. So when I saw him over the weekend and I saw what he did, I was like, maybe the reawakening of the kid again, finally. And I asked this same question. I was like, should Luis Skelly maybe not be considered against Atletico de Madrid? At the time, I couldn't exactly answer the question myself, but I think it's a good avenue to continue to do that now. Do I think he should start? I don't think it's a bad idea. Genuinely, I do not think it's a bad idea. I explained why as well over the weekend. One of two things. Number one, Zubimendi in recent games. Drama Boy is an Arsenal fan and he's a guy that I know that watches every Arsenal game. He would not argue that Zubimendi has made a couple of mistakes. Maybe made the most mistakes in the Arsenal team this season. Either by just being out of position, either by giving away the ball, or just being asleep when the opposition is coming at him. One way or the other, Zubimendi has made a couple of mistakes. And making mistakes is one thing. Another thing is when your game starts to feel lethargic. Everybody can tell that they can see the fatigue in your game, which also then made me to go back.
There is more dynamism with Rice.
So that's one thing. I was like, for the idea of maybe just allow Zubimendi a rest, maybe it's not a bad idea. That's number one. Number two was when I talked about tactical flexibility. Declan Rice does what Luis Skelly does: break lines, progress the ball. Break lines, progress the ball. If Atletico Madrid are trying to press you high and they feel Declan Rice is the sitter, Luis Skelly can come back, pick up the ball, drive it forward and help you attack. If they at some point identify Luis Skelly as the sitter in the team, Declan Rice can come up, pick up the ball and advance the ball. One way or the other, you are leaving your positions for dead because you have two people that can carry the ball very well. They find it a little bit more difficult to know who is going to be your sitter and who is that guy we should put pressure on, because the other guy, if you leave him available, you would have something to work with. So therefore, I do believe Luis Skelly can do it even at that big stage, because again, like I said last season, he did it against Real Madrid, so why not against Atletico de Madrid? So I do think it's a good idea, but the reality of things is I would be very, very surprised. It would take a miracle for you to see the starting 11 tonight and not find Martins Zubimendi in that position. I think
because Mikel,
it's just
Mikel Arteta.
I don't think it's a bad idea. Again, also on tested waters, because again, something you did over the weekend, all of a sudden you want to put in the Champions League semi-final game, a do or die game, as a matter of fact. So maybe for that reason, go with your safe option. So yeah, I don't mind the idea of seeing Zubimendi. I just think for the sake of dynamism, maybe just do it.
Which could make or mar your game, Adam. This is a big decision Mikel has to make.
Make or mar. The boy can do
because
it.
The truth is that if you play Luis Skelly and that game is lost today,
everybody will say
tomorrow they're gonna say it was a big gamble. Why would you play Luis Skelly? Fulham, Atletico Madrid. I mean, we'll come back to that table. But like I said, I mean, if you were Mikel Arteta in tonight's game, help him make that decision. I don't know if he can hear us, but if he can hear us, if he decide to listen to Adam or listen to you out there. But let's hear from you on the show. Thierry Henry says he wouldn't mind to see Thierry Henry. Would not be the worst idea to see Luis Skelly start tonight ahead of Zubimendi. Jamie Carragher had a lot of praise for that young man. In fact, he mentioned, like Adam has mentioned as well, that he did the same thing against Madrid. He was outstanding against Madrid. He was outstanding against Fulham. He says he's a complete midfield player. In fact, he says even if that whatever it is Mikel wants to do tonight, he thinks that going forward, Myles Skelly should continue to play as a 6. They should not return him back to what he used to be. He should continue to play him in that position. He says, I think going forward, even if Zubimendi plays, just leave him there at 6 for now.
You see, that thing that when Nkapie was bought, it was kind of like an idea that popped in. I was like, and I know we talked about it, maybe just briefly, but at the beginning of the season, when Nkapie came in, it was just something I was like, maybe this is the opportunity for Luis Skelly to step into the midfield, be a back, the same way they have Norgard, and Norgard barely plays anyway. If you want to rest a Declan Rice, if you want to rest Zubimendi, at some point you can look in the angles of Myles Luis Skelly. You can look in the angles of let's talk about squad depth. You can look at Norgard and Zubimendi and Luis Skelly as your backup to Zubimendi and Rice. It's not a bad idea. I saw a graphic after the Newcastle game where Arsenal themselves put out a tweet and they were hailing Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi as their midfield maestros and the evergreen guys. Yeah. At that time, they put it out there. Zubimendi had played 34 games. All league games, Martin Zubimendi had appeared in. Declan Rice had appeared in 33 or 34 games. As of that moment, I quoted that tweet and I said, I was like, and you are proud of it, like it is like you don't have a bench. that you are using 2 guys and you are running them to the ground.
I mean, this is the reason why I have a squad depth.
And everybody will talk about squad depth. So why are you buying players when you are not going to trust them at the end of the day?
Is this that game where Mikel should trust Myles with Skelly? Is this the game? This is not. This is
start your Zubimendi so that they will not say that it's somebody that said you should.
They play the safe option, so people will not come for you tomorrow.
But if you start noticing any slight faults in Zubimendi's football, half-time sub, make it the go house.
Let's hear from you on the show. 09044,889, 09041,889 on WhatsApp is 09044,889. So you can reach us on both lines in case you're not aware. Yes, ultimately, who do you see getting into the finals of the UEFA Champions League? Before Arsenal, looks like a bit of a headache for Mikel. I haven't seen that performance from Skelly over the weekend. But we're asking you, who should he trust to start today? Should Myles Skelly start tonight for Arsenal, or should he go for experienced leg in the pressing of Martin Zubimendi? Thierry Henry says it would not be the worst idea. If you're Mikel Arteta, what would you do? Let's hear from you on the show. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good evening. Welcome.
My name is
Sorry?
I said my name is Stephen from Mushin.
Stephen.
Yeah. So, as for me, I'm going to start Myles Skelly. Because looking at the guy play, he's very strong in the midfield than Zubimendi. And he pushes for attack more than Zubimendi. Zubimendi don't go for attack. Anytime he sees Zubimendi holding ball, he's either returning to Gabriel or go another place. Why Myles? If we look at our first game, first leg against Chico in the group stage, when he played also that position, you could see what he did. So I don't think starting him is a bad idea.
Okay. All right. Thank you. WhatsApp line is open 09044,889. Start Lewis Skelly or go for Zubimendi. And who do you see getting to the finals of the Champions League? Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
You're welcome.
How you doing?
Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Oluwadamilare.
Oluwadamilare.
Yes, from Lagos Island.
Go on.
What I would like to see tonight is whoever who is playing, I don't care. I just don't want to see David Raya having 30-something touches and Dukoret having 5 touches throughout the whole match.
Okay.
How can we play football? The keeper is touching the ball more than your striker. What is that? Now, what kind of football is that? The keeper is having a touch on the ball more than your striker. Just play all out. You want to win, make a win. If you want to move, all out, attack all three. What they do, one stupid mistake. Attacking, play ball to the player. The player got a touch ball, so that you can play wrong pass.
Okay.
No, that's not football. You don't attack anybody. You are feeding anybody. So far, after just feed them. Let us play. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you for calling. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome. How are you
Good
doing?
evening. Welcome.
I'm good. These are the
Go on.
To me, no. You Skelly to not start the match. No, you Skelly to not start. See, different of games, you have different games, different opinions. To me, you Skelly can play very well against Fulham. You understand?
Yeah, but it's Atletico Madrid.
You know that Sinoni Trevor already had his own plans towards this game tonight. So at least Zubimendi has been playing against Atletico now more than how many? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So Zubimendi has been playing now. He has the experience. So to me, Arteta should just have it in mind that okay, although I still have extra midfield at the bench because AJ is here. I don't know, maybe other guys is, I don't know. So just have it in mind, okay, and he said he can come in at any time. But for me to start with, no, I won't agree with that.
Okay.
Very close. But sometimes even the Skelly even make some wrong tackles that will lead him to red card. So you understand? So for to me, tonight, you do not do that. If you just keep the information, then
play Atletico the way they bring the game. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right, thank you. Said Fulham no be Atletico Madrid. If you had a good game against Fulham, it does not automatically translate that you're going to have a good game against an Atletico Madrid, because yes, Atletico Madrid are a better side than Fulham. But this is what we are right now. Trust him to get the job done, or go for Zubimendi. And ultimately, who do you see picking the ticket to the finals of the UEFA Champions League? Do not forget that you can go on our social media handle and drop us your comments. The post is there, the comment is there, the post is there, the quote is there. All you need to do is to go and drop your comments. Hello, welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yes, Myles from Thailand.
Oh no, it's fire down.
Yes, I agree a second.
Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon. See, my issue with that Zubedi is say it didn't make mistake. Sometimes we could just forget say in the field. Now the issue they get to that guy. That guy don't make mistake believe to go 4 times this season, if not more than. But you see that Myles Skelly is very sharp. He's very fast.
Is this game not bigger than him? Atletico Madrid semi-finals of the Champions League.
As I say, to play against the almighty Madrid at Benebra, why not you play against Atletico Madrid for stadium? You can do it now. Remember, this game now, one mistake can cost you a big error, like a big problem. One mistake can cause you a big problem. Zumendi, if you give Zumendi ball, he will be looking around, he will be turning around, so he knows they will just collect the ball from him. He has made this mistake more than 4 times this season, and all his mistakes leads to go. This is not the time we want such a mistake, so no, we don't want it. They should play Myles Skelly, then put Zubi at 70 minutes to just keep the game off.
Okay.
That guy makes mistakes too much.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Do you know what this is reminding me of, Adam? When we had that conversation, should Kepa start or David Raya? And people say, "Oh, that's
a big pickup."
I'm telling you, should he start? People kept no.
That's why I said
it was the Carabao Cup, right?
Yeah,
they said no, that's his competition. Let him start. And some people said no, it's a cup final. He can't do this. It's Manchester City. Eventually, he backfired. The man said he's going to put his trust in Kepa. Kepa made a mess of that game, and they lost. This is what he's facing right now. Should I trust this guy over the weekend against Fulham? It's just a ball, or should I go for Zubimendi? Let's not come back here tomorrow and then we read one statement from Mikel that says he had a good performance against Fulham. I had to trust the young lad. Dynamism with Rice. Eventually, I don't know, but ultimately, decision lies in Mikel. But for you right there, if you were in his shoes, what would you advise him to do? Louis Skelly, or go for what you know, Martins Zubimendi, who, like some of you have mentioned, can be prone to errors. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Eva, good afternoon.
Yeah, we can hear you. You're welcome. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Michael, calling from Ogun State.
All right, Michael, talk to us.
Yeah, I want to talk about this match of tonight, Arsenal Atlético.
Fire down.
According to what Yori have said, to me, I think it is better for Arteta to start that Louis Skelly, because if you look at the last game he played, and just like what Adam said earlier, last year he played against Real Madrid. Nobody believed what this kid can do, but we all saw what he did. And now we are talking about today's game against Atletico. Well, everybody will be looking at it that the Atletico this and we shouldn't forget that when you never give an opportunity to someone, you will never see the best of that person out from that person. So I believe, just as John Harry have said, Arteta should start that Louis Skelly. Then people see what we did for the first half. There's opportunity for Zubimendi to come in the second half, but I still believe Louis Skelly should start that game.
Okay. All right, thank you. Louis Skelly should start that game. Let's pay some bills on the show. When we come back, we'll take more thoughts on WhatsApp and pick more calls on the show. it, Sports Radio Blue FM, and yes, you can also watch us live on our YouTube channel as well. Just type Blue FM 889. You will be able to see us live and also get to interact on what you think will happen tonight. Who do you think will pick the ticket to the finals of the UEFA Champions League? And for Arsenal, a bit of a headache for manager Mikel Arteta. The last time it was Kepa and Raya, he went for Kepa, he backfired. Tonight we're asking Myles Skelly, owing to his performance in that game against Fulham. Oh no! Go for Martin Zubimendi. Trust him to start. He's experienced. It's Atletico Madrid. It's a bigger game than Fulham. Trust him to start. Put Myles Skelly on the bench. Anyways, NS Chibreze on Facebook says, good afternoon, guys. Don't start him. He did well against Fulham because the team was open and not compact enough. Against the team like Atletico Madrid, that's very compact and matured, I don't think he is the guy. Adam, your reaction to this comment says, more compact and matured, don't start him. And that's a point, actually.
Well, we'll see exactly what it is. It's tricky. That's why I said Mikel will probably
the quality of the Fulham team, Adam, is not the same as the quality of Atletico Madrid. So Atletico Madrid are more compact indeed.
I am not
more conservative. Fulham were just they ran through Fulham. The defense were in shambles. Fulham's defense, like it was. Alex Iwobi was like.
But then again, like I said, he will probably do what he probably is used to. He will probably do what it is that we know him. But
you would not mind Lewis Kelly starting.
I don't mind.
Regardless, but let's go back to being tougher than Fulham. Okay, let's take more thoughts. WhatsApp line is 090440889, and yes, you can call us as well to be a part of the conversation. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
I hear you loud and clear. Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Joy Kain.
Welcome.
On the Zubimendi and Myles Skelly issue, I think Mikel should go with MLS because he's faster, he's stronger, he's more agile, and he understands that role. We have watched him play a couple of times, and he did well. Zubimendi is more prone to mistakes. He has committed mistakes that led to go in about 4 goals. I still remember the one of Tottenham Hotspur. So I think, yes, you may say Zubi has more experience, but he's slower, he's not physical, and these are qualities that Myles Skelly has. So I say that I would rather go with Myles Skelly. And Atletico Madrid, they are not that kind of pacey team. So we can hit them, with our pace and strength. And that will go a long way.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling. Keep your thoughts on WhatsApp coming as well. Let's take more thoughts on the show. Myles Skelly or Martin Zubimendi. If you were Mikel, what would you do tonight? If you're a rival fan or a neutral fan, who do you think will pick the ticket to the finals of the UEFA Champions League? Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. How are you doing?
Good evening, Adam.
I greet you too. You're welcome.
Sorry?
Charles from Mexico.
Charles, you're welcome.
Today's game, a very nice game. Arsenal versus Atletico. For me, they have done well in the last game. But I think the manager will be confused now because of the early performance and also experience of the other guy.
Zubimendi, okay.
That has even played more games with Atletico. He has used to that system. That is another way you can look at it. So if I will be the coach, I will still go for the manager.
Okay.
So then second half, if the guy can just come in for that test.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for calling. I don't have so many comments to take on WhatsApp. I can run through some of them.
All right, let's see, of course, how many of them I can get through in due time. Hi, Eva. Kudos, Adam. It says, for me, starting Lewis Kelly is a risk worth taking. I've been telling you, Lewis Kelly is an O'Reilly in the hands of Arteta, while O'Reilly is a Skelly in the hands of Guardiola. What? You need to see the way I jumped when I heard United might be coming for the boy, Baba. You don't want to lose out to United. I think Arteta starts winning today's match. If Zuri is not performing, you can start Lewis Kelly in the second half, because you have to start with your best players. Babu from Dallas, Texas. Good evening, Adam and Eva. James from Abijo. He says, for me, anybody that want to fill in the slot in that midfield. That wants to fill in the slot. Okay. Let's go all the way. Hit watch activated. Oh yeah, no. Good evening, Adam and Eva. Casey from Vestac Extension. He says, whoever Arteta is starting tonight doesn't change the fact that Arsenal was the let's go to second leg equals Iran football. We don't get choice. Oh come on.
Than to produce a winner. I said let's go and find out though. Okay, let's go and find
Please
out.
Don't send the voice note on WhatsApp. We can't listen to them. Okay. Good day, guys. You know,
okay.
Okay.
I don't know comments. That comments. I don't know. Let's take this call. Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
Welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing good. This Nuruddin.
Nuruddin, tell us. Talk to us.
Adam.
Yes.
We can hear you. Go on.
If Atletico does not beat Arsenal tonight, could pay you to pay me. Because I've already bet with someone that I bet my house rent with someone that.
Go and cash out. Listen to me. Go and cash out your money. Save yourself.
Why would you put your house rent on a match like this?
I'm not even feeling that Arsenal will not just qualify to that.
Okay, can you hear me? What's your name?
Nuruddin.
What is the one thing I always say at the end of every bet show that I anchor?
Bet responsibly.
Nuruddin.
How would you put your...
Is this responsible betting?
Are you joking with us right now? Your house rent?
Answer me. Is this responsible betting? There is still a couple of hours to kick off. You can still save yourself.
Alright.
Yes, please. Please. This is not the game where you do that. It could swing anyway.
It could happen for you.
Especially when it's like 1-1.
It could happen for you. But saying that this night you want contract
you get and first leg was 1-1. It wasn't like let's go 2-0, and then you're like okay, they can hold on. It's 1-1. It can go anywhere.
But stake responsibly. Money that you can say bye to once.
You can't even stake. Don't stake at all. If you can just stay and watch, please.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yes.
Welcome. How you doing?
Good evening. You're welcome.
Adam, I greet you.
Greet you too.
It's like just I can go use the landlord to think that if they don't win, I don't go with that. So let me tell you, my name is Joaquin, calling from Mexico.
Carry go.
Hello?
Yes.
We can hear you. You're welcome.
To me. If Arteta dey hear me now, may not even try am. They won't stop the Skelly. No, may not even try that one. All those one wey tell you how you talk, play this thing. No, fine. The guy play well for weekend. Play for this time match now, he will talk to the Skelly. For weekend now. Play is quickly do it. Even this man now, when the team stay there, the guy sometimes he play some shots from that mean. All this one wey some Arsenal fans say don't talk say not in there. And today on I'm saying the commentary. And then me start with the men there. Me I know who are that one.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Personally, Adam, I think the safer bet would be to start Martins Zubimendi. I think that's the safer bet.
It is. I mean,
start someone you. So I think so even if it backfires,
even in the first half, he just say in Wakano Street.
Yes. Then you can make. I think it's just
safer.
safer. If you start a Lewis Skelly and it backfires, even if we know Arsenal may win the Premier League, the amount of criticisms that man will receive tomorrow, if he starts Lewis Skelly and they lose, I think it's safer. Starts with Mendy that we all know. Then what's with Mendy? If he makes an error, want to make that change, since you now know that Lewis Skelly can actually perform in that particular role as well. Okay, our WhatsApp line is still open. Mosi says to me, my advice to Mikel is to play Skelly because Arsenal needs to end that game as soon as possible. Then bring us with Mendy as substitute. Okay, to close out the game. Somebody may speak about it. Hello.
Good evening, Adam.
Welcome. How you doing?
I'm fine. How was your day? Nice work.
My day is going well.
Okay, my name is Zeman, an Arsenal fan.
Go on.
Yeah, for me, I don't see Arteta for any reason. I don't see, and I can never believe that Arteta will start Myles Skelly ahead of Martin Zubimendi.
say you can never do that. I trust you. You will never try it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Adam, we'll see your thoughts on WhatsApp to take. If you can run us through them. Don't pester his test.
Eva, no two games are the same, no two halves are the same. This is a crucial match and must not be gambled. That Skelly played well against Fulham. Well against Fulham doesn't mean he will do well against Atletico. And don't forget, Alex Iwobi, who is important to Fulham, did not play that game against Arsenal, which could have made the difference. So I reckon he sticks to what he knows already, which is starting Zubimendi. Don Pexto from Yabatek. I think there's one more.
I did read that one, but we have this one.
Okay, this person just said Arsenal fans.
Okay. Well, Adam, on the flip side of this conversation, there's going to be a lot of hate watch against Arsenal today.
I know.
There's going to be a lot. Especially, really with what happened yesterday, that Man City drew 3-3. You know, there will be a lot of people hoping that Atletico Madrid
if my boy
get the job done today. So that we'll come back and say, oh, it's just one trophy left. I don't know what the end of the season will look like, Adam, if Arsenal wins 2 trophies. Like, if they win the 2 major trophies, I don't know how it's going to be. It's going to be too chaotic.
If Arsenal win both of them.
So I think the average rival fan is just praying that, you know, just win one. At least one is manageable. The noise that will come from winning one, it's gonna be like, you can't compare it to the noise that will come when you win 2. So there will be a lot of hate watch today, and I think the Arsenal players are used to it. They don't care any longer.
They're gonna be alright.
They're gonna go there and get the job done. Hopefully,
they will be alright.
Hopefully they do. Anyways, wrapping up the conversation. Hi, Even Adam Casey on WhatsApp says,
please, with the guy that staked his house rent, house don't cost for Lagos. So Nuruddin, if you are still listening,
it says had I know it's a bad anthem.
Again, Nuruddin, you still again, it can happen.
Yeah, it can actually happen.
Gamble responsibly. That's why I asked you. I said, if I host any bet show, what is the one thing that I always say? Remember to gamble responsibly. Guys, we gotta go at this point in time. It's been the afternoon's prosperous. My name is Adam Baslam, and of course, I've done this alongside Eva the Diva, and of course, a big shout out to DJ Drummer Boy as well. Tonight, Champions League, of course, will go live. The first ticket to Budapest is up for grabs. Will it be an English-based club, or will it be the Spaniards who pick up the ticket? We'll find out by like 10-11 p.m. tonight. We will know who is going where. Until then, stay locked, stay glued, and of course, this remains your round of champions for JWFM. Adam Aslaman is my name. Au revoir.